Welcome to World Transits Today, practicing in the tradition of Stanislav Grof and Richard Tarnas, blending consciousness research with astrology. I'm Art Granoff. Today on World Transits, Archetypal News Network Edition, we explore 4 planetary archetypes: the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Pluto, highlighting important historical figures with these aspects in their charts who predominantly display these characteristics. Here's an Archetypal News Network 3-part series today and the next 2 weeks, unpacking what I'm calling the 2021 spring break. Next week, April 20th, 420, we celebrate the planetary archetype Uranus, the breath of fresh air. Then April 27, we complete spring break with these transits at their peak. What have we gained and what have we lost? 1 year ago today, the 2020 spring nightmare, we see Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars all in tight conjunction, the beginning of the pandemic. Now we have the inner planet conjunction square Pluto, Sun conjunct Mercury, Sun conjunct Venus, Venus square Pluto, Mercury square Pluto, Sun square Pluto. That's what we'll be talking about today. With the Sun, my outward identity, my self-image in the world, the results of my adventure to this point. Me, I, my charm, my charisma. Am I funny, serious, demanding? The Sun is how I present myself while getting things done in life, though at times I could be too hot or shiny. Mercury is about our mind's activities and ideas moving around. Mercury's logic, ordered thinking, analyzing and understanding. Also includes scattered thinking when we're unfocused and everywhere at once. Mercury is logos, the principle of reason and creative order. Mercury as ancient herald, classically garbed with winged helmet or bird's wings. Mercury spreading ideas travels quickly. Venus is beauty, it wants to give and harmonize. Venus has tenderness, the non-ordinary state revealing an elevated sense of existence. A full taste of worth, not lacking, not needing, complete, with sophisticated giving and receiving. Venus is exciting, fulfilling, opening the enjoyment of beauty, filling our senses, calling our subtle body name, darling. Venus concerned with the delicacies of life, our own personal paradise. Pluto's the planetary archetype furthest from the Sun, uncovers and aggravates whatever planet it touches. Pluto's a hidden superforce within us. Pluto rekindles our past and repressed stuff, recalling deep hurts or situations where we were completely helpless, possibly humiliated, the episodes we'd rather forget. Pluto's also finding hidden wealth, digging under the surface, finding the fear, then opening to it. There's writhing, then transforming them into jewels that shine brightly. Here's Edgar Allan Poe. Let's take a look at his chart with Sun conjunct Mercury, the brilliant light of the mind, rational thinking, speaking through the pen. Edgar Allan Poe, a very important American writer of the 19th century. He was the first author to try to make a professional living as a writer. He was a pioneer of fiction and father of the detective story. And here's his famous poem, The Raven. It tells of a talking raven's mysterious visit to a distraught lover, tracing the man's slow descent into madness. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, "tapping at my chamber door. Only this and nothing more." Here's Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes, born 1901, was an American poet, activist, novelist, and playwright. He was one of the earliest innovators of the then new literary art form called jazz poetry, where jazz is played along with the poem. In the 1920s, Hughes is best known as leader of the Harlem Renaissance. He famously wrote about the period that the Negro was in vogue, which was later paraphrased as when Harlem was in vogue. In 1926, he wrote The Negro Artist and the Racial Mountain. But jazz to me is one of the inherent expressions of Negro life in America, the eternal tom-tom beating of the Negro soul, the tom-tom of revolt against weariness in a white world, a world of subway trains and work, 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 the tom-tom of joy and laughter, and pain swallowed in a smile. I continue to dream. I take my dreams and make of them a bronze vase and a round fountain with a beautiful statue in its center, and a song with a broken heart, and I ask you, do you understand my dreams? Sometimes you say you do, and sometimes you say you don't. Either way, it doesn't matter. I continue to dream. And we see Langston Hughes' chart right here with the Sun conjunct Mercury trine to Pluto. Who's next? Willie Dixon. Hey, boss of the Chicago Blues. Willie Dixon. There's his chart with the Pluto, Mercury, Sun, and Saturn conjunction. Ooh. William James Dixon, born 1915, was an American blues musician, vocalist, arranger, and record producer. He played the upright bass, singing with a distinctive voice. Dixon, known as one of the most prolific songwriters of his time. Next to Muddy Waters, he's the most influential person in shaping the post-World War II Chicago blues. He's recorded by countless musicians. Dixon's songs include Hoochie Coochie Man, I Just Want to Make Love to You, Little Red Rooster, and Spoonful. From 1950 to 1965, he influenced a generation of musicians worldwide. Dixon's songs were adopted by numerous rock and roll artists. He received a Grammy Award, inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Where would the Rolling Stones, Eric Clapton, and Led Zeppelin be without Willie Dixon, with his Mercury sandwich on Sun, Saturn, and Venus Pluto bread? You can see Willie Dixon all over YouTube. And now, Elizabeth Barrett Browning, born with Sun conjunct Mercury, Venus, and Pluto. Sun, Mercury, Mars, Pluto conjunction. The pen is mightier than the sword. Mercury conjunct Venus, Eros the beautiful and Logos the word, expressing around love. Here's Elizabeth Barrett Browning's famous poem, How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when I'm feeling out of sight. For the ends of being and ideal grace, I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need, by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as they turn from praise. I love thee with the passion put to use in my old griefs and with my childhood's faith. I love thee with a love I seem to lose with my lost saints. I love thee with the breath, smiles, tears of all of my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Thank you, Elizabeth Barrett Browning, Sun conjunct Mercury, Venus, and Pluto. Who's next? Kenneth Frazier, Sun, Mercury, Pluto, finding our voice, then expressing it. Corporate America uniting, standing firm against Texas and Georgia. There's his chart with the Sun Mercury conjunction, trine to Pluto. Over 100 chief executives gathered online the other day discussing ways to combat voting restriction bills in Texas and the one recently signed into law in Georgia. Kenneth Frazier, the chief executive of Merck Pharmaceutical, told them it was important to keep fighting discriminatory laws on voting. Frazier coordinated a letter signed last month by 72 black business executives making the same point, drawing attention, calling out various states' voter suppression laws. Okay, some pressure. Those against voter suppression laws. Now the protesters are corporate executives. Where's the athletes? Where's the best-selling recording artists? Isn't Atlanta the epicenter of hip-hop? What do you guys have to say? In 2021, our rights are defended by corporate executives, calling out voter restriction laws for basic voting rights. That's good. And one more example today. We feature Robert James Keeshan, born 1927, better known as Captain Kangaroo. Yes, Captain Kangaroo on Archetypal News Network was a U.S. television personality and children's advocate. The captain with Sun conjunct Pluto, Mercury conjunct Pluto, says children are intelligent. Robert James Keeshan started out as a page at the National Broadcasting Company. Keeshan later began his on-air career as the original Clarabelle the Clown for the NBC Howdy Doody show in 1947, a true pioneer of television. October 3rd, 1955, Captain Kangaroo begins his 30-year run. The captain taught its values and gave those with busy or absent fathers a gentle and caring male role model to learn from. A love of reading was encouraged in the animals that Mr. Green Jeans, him, showed, allowed children who had never seen a particular animal to experience it through his fascination with it. Thanks, Captain Kangaroo. On the transit timeline, we see right here, Sun conjunct Venus, still going, long transit, 4-month transit. We have Sun conjunct Mercury till the beginning of May, and Mercury conjunct Venus through mid-May. Here's our squares. Square Pluto till the 16th, beauty discovering the heart of darkness. We have Sun square Pluto, discovering our voice and then expressing it. And Mercury square Pluto, mining, digging, picking beneath the surface of things. So thanks for tuning to World Transits Today, everybody. Archetypal News Network edition. World Transits Today is available at my site, Reference Astrology, and the audio version at Apple Podcasts. And see you tomorrow.